Hey everybody. Hi, I see people trickling in. Okay. Hi, happy Friday. Ooh. Hello, hello. I'm going to give it a few seconds for people to just make their way in. Get yourself something to drink, get yourself something to eat, get nice and cozy because we're going to talk about evil eye today, how to best protect yourself from the evil eye, as well as just a little bit more about it. I know it's something that's like a very buzzed upon spiritual topic. You hear it all the time on Twitter, you hear it all the time on the internet. Oh, this person is sending me evil eye, or oh, this happened to me. It must be the evil eye. So I want to talk about evil eye, what it is, how to recognize it, and the best ways to protect yourself. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Right? Looking at the chat. How are you? But I want to talk about that, the best ways to protect oneself in the situation that you're dealing with a lot of evil eye, how to recognize that you're in a situation like that. We're going to talk about makeup things, things that I'm feeling about my makeup collection. I'm going to talk about depotting and my plans for that process. For those of you who don't know what depotting is, it's pretty much taking makeup out of the container that it's originally in and then switching it to a different container. And you can do that for a host of reasons. You could do it for convenience. A lot of makeup artists do it because packaging is very heavy. So we're going to talk about depotting and my plans for depotting. And we're going to talk about a new product I just almost sold out, actually. Like, you guys actually really hopped on that train very quickly. So I'm going to be talking about that as well. Let me look at these comments. I see more people are making their way. Hi, I see some familiar faces. How are you guys doing? Giving heart chakra abundance, realness. Yes, the green. Okay, so I told you guys, because this is actually going to be like my last couple days with this set. I'm streaming live, so if you're not watching it live, then I'll probably have different nails by the time we do our next live. But when I was going to get these nails, I was switching from my tiger set, which is really cute. If you want to see my tiger set, it's on my blog, Conjure Cuts, which is on my website, SATAR'RA.com. Anyway, I had a set that was very tiger inspired. It had stripes. It was kind of like this beautiful chocolatey orange, glassy jelly color. Are you following me? And I needed something that was really going to follow her up. Like, you can't have a tigerlicious, set and then just go with nothing. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? I don't want to do nudes. And I was in the shower and I heard green. You should do green. And I was like, okay, clearly these ancestors want me to do green. I got on Twitter because, love to kind of, when you lick your finger and stick it out there and catch the vibe check from the girlies. So I was like, okay, what color are we feeling for my next set? And everyone, in like the span of like 5 to 15 minutes, everyone was like, green, you should do green. What about forest green? What about mint green? What about like all these assorted shades of green? And so I was like, okay, like, I'm getting that message, like green is clearly what it needs to be. And so I hit up my nail tech, and I really do let her, when it comes to my nails, kind of be creative. Sometimes we'll send ideas back and forth. Like, I'll see something and I'll be like, my lash keeps sticking. Oh my God. Okay, I use Duo Lash Glue, and I love her because she sticks, but like when she sticks, she sticks. My goodness. Okay, so I kind of let her do her thing when we do my sets. I might send her some inspo. She'll sometimes send me things throughout the week. And this is what we landed on. And so these are my babies. Like I said, in a few days, I'm going to try something new. But the green has been very abundant. And then this eye color is also very green. It's actually cream shadow. Is my first time using it. It's from a brand that's new to me, Kulfi. And I thought it was going to be like, it was a shadow in a pot. And I thought it was going to be like a jelly type of texture or even like a cream texture. I was surprised because it was more like a mousse. Like, when I was putting it on, it was a very moussey kind of situation. And I had mixed feelings about it. It ended up cute, but it was kind of hard to apply. But I do like the way today's look ended up. I used a lot of favorites and I used some new things. And so yeah, that's my look today. That's what I've got going on. I got my little finger waves popping. And that's really what I want. Thank you guys for the looks compliment, the nails compliments. But yeah, my nail tech always eats it up. She's my girl. And I don't know if you guys are like nail people or not, but to me, it's like having 10 mini altars. Like, I don't know how to describe it. You can just pull all the energy you need in. You can set the vibe. Like, we use our hands for so much spiritually and otherwise. We touch people we love. We cook with our hands. Okay, we write, all of that. And I just love looking down during the week and seeing something beautiful. It's like a little canvas on each finger or a little altar on each finger. And so I appreciate the nail compliments dearly. And if you have ideas for my next set, put them in the comments because I'm always looking for nail ideas. Like I said, I like to switch it up often. So if you think something would be cute, drop it below in the section. Okay, we're going to get into evil eye, but I did bring some beauty favorites. I don't know. Last time we were live, the theme was kind of about beauty favorites. And then I was like, well, I always have something new that I'm liking. So I feel like I'm just going to make it a weekly part of our segment. That way, if you're looking for new things to try each week, I'm just bringing you something that I've been loving, that I've been enjoying. And some of them are going to be makeup. Sometimes they'll be music or music tech. Sometimes they'll be lifestyle. I'm just going to bring my favorite things to you. Like I'm Oprah, you know, favorite things. Okay, so a makeup favorite. I'm wearing it right now. Okay, so this is the House Labs blush in Fire Moon. A lot of the girls have been talking about it. Okay, I loved the House Labs blushes the first time they came out. They have been reformulated, and I'm not trying to be messy, but Lady Gaga, these are so much smaller. Okay, these are so much smaller. I'm gonna have to find my original size blush. Now, it did not come in this color in this size, so there was no way we were ever going to get this particular shade, which is what I'm raving about here, in this size. In the original size, because it's a new shade. However, loved the new shade, did not like the downsize. But anyway, this blush is like the prettiest, no makeup, sunburned, sun-kissed. It's just going to be the spring shade, especially if you're a brown skin girly, if you're a chocolate girly. It's going to just, I'm sure it will be beautiful on all skin tones, but particularly if you've got a little bit of warmth in your face and in your cheekbones, like, I'm loving her. I'm wearing it now. If you're wondering what she does, what she looks like. But I wore this yesterday with no foundation, no concealer, no nothing. I just had skin. I brushed my brows up, and I had a client for a reading. And so I wanted to look like I tried. So I put on a little blush. So I just had that blush on for my reading, went out to go get something from my Instacart driver. First of all, she was so sweet. But second of all, she was like, your makeup looks so beautiful. You look so beautiful. Are you a makeup artist? Oh my God, you're glowing. And so, of course, I was gassed because, what? Like, thank you. What do you mean? You think I look cute? Thank you. So, of course, I was gassed. But I was also like, what is she talking about? My makeup looks so good. And then I realized I was wearing this. This is, I see you asking the lady for the name. It's Fire Moon is the shade name. Fire Moon by House Labs. It's their color fuse blush. And like I said, I got so many compliments wearing this blush alone. And I like a blush color that I can throw on with nothing else on, because I don't know, for those of you who grew up in the South or grew up with older aunties, like, you know, the makeup rule was put on some earrings and put some color on that face. And so blush for me is just a little color. Even if I'm not doing anything else, I'm likely to put on blush. So that is the Fire Moon blush. And if you want to know what it looks like, I'm wearing it now. So all of this on my cheek, I do have on a little highlighter and contour, but the actual warmth you see is this blush right here. Okay, so we're obsessed with her. Another beauty tingy I love. Okay, this right here, this is from Good Molecules. It's the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. Okay, so I love this for a host of reasons. I got this for free when I was at the makeup Good Molecules was there passing out PR for all of the artists, all of the influencers, all of the musicians. And so they handed me like a goodie bag with a whole lot of different Good Molecules products for me to try. And this one in particular was a standout. The Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. It says reduce signs of puffiness and plump the appearance of fine lines. That's exactly what it does. I am a music girly. Sometimes I stay up working on something, whether that be a spiritual something or a musical something, later than what we would consider, acceptable hours. We can be up into the wee night hours doing things, and I can get real puffy under here, especially if I've had a lot of salt or sodium. I love a potato chip, okay? I love caviar. I love salty. And so it can make me puffy and bloated, especially under my eye area. And so this really reduces and brightens, get rid of those dark circles, and just, it plays well under makeup. She's that girl, and I want to say it's like $9. I think 9 or 6. Your girl is not good with numbers, but $9 or $6 when I looked on the website. Like, she's definitely not in the double digits. And we love that. We love an affordable staple. Okay. So Good Molecules in general, I love their hyaluronic acid. I love a lot of their products, but this one in particular, we love her. So this is the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. Okay, I've got some more beauty faves, but I want to jump into the topic of the hour, which is evil eye. All right, we're talking about evil eye. Now, evil eye is a very interesting topic because it's something that you don't always know directly is happening until you experience the effects a couple times. So evil eye, a lot of the girlies around the world believe in evil eye. The conjure girlies, we include ourselves in that. So I have this conversation with a lot of my Arab friends, have this conversation with a lot of my Somali friends, a lot of my African friends believe in the evil eye. But especially I feel like with my Arab girlies, my Turkish girlies, we have a real conversation around the Nazar and like what it means. My Muslim girlies too, okay? We have a lot of conversation about evil eye. What is the evil eye and how does one protect themselves? Also, cannot shout out to my Latina girlies because y'all's grandmas kept y'all together with the evil eye formulas too. Can't even lie. I've shared things with my girls around the world about evil eye, okay? And I will say that the Latino girlies, y'all's grandmas know what's up too, right? But evil eye is something that I feel is usually discussed in different cultures around the world, and particularly amongst women. And that's something that I'm going to touch on in a little bit because it's not that men don't evil eye. Men evil eye a whole lot. But I think that a lot of the ways that evil eye makes itself manifest can be in certain things that we consider feminine values, like one's beauty, one's aesthetic. And so, for example, I might make a joke with my friend if she gets her hair done, and then as soon as she finishes having her hair done, something happens, it rains on her, something like that, after she shared a photo on social media. Right? So say she just got her hair done. She keeps it within our friend group. She's like, oh, I look so cute. My hair's so cute. And she knows it's within her trusted group of people, right? Maybe she's not noticing any type of negativity after she shares with a certain group of people. But if she gets her hair done and then she goes out in the world or she's on social media or she's showing up in a certain way, and all of a sudden, as soon as she posts that, boom, my hair looks so cute, or look at me, or whatever. Or as soon as she tells her business to somebody new who's not in her normal circle, then something happens with the hair. The wig slips, the hair starts to break, the hair starts falling. When you start to see things like that, especially around appearance, I think that's a lot of the old school conversation we see around evil eye. When too many people are looking at you, when too many people are coveting what you have, and so it deteriorates the quality of whatever it is that you shared. Does that make sense? And that can oftentimes we talk about it with material beauty, physical beauty, but whether that be one's skin, you're posting pictures of yourself looking beautiful, looking glamorous, and then every time you step your foot out, you have a little pimple like that. Or it can happen to career opportunities, or relationships are a big one where we see evil eye, where every time you meet somebody new, it's all fine and dandy until you talk to a certain person or to a certain group of people, or just share it publicly in general, and then it starts to get chaotic. So if you are experiencing these things, or you start a business, you receive a new opportunity, and as soon as you begin to share it, then it deteriorates, or you lose grip on it, or that person starts acting funny, or you get the breakout, or you get the hair falling out, or you break a nail right after you shared that set on the internet, all of them tips start popping off. You might want to put down some protection around the evil eye. If you guys have questions, by the way, about anything that I'm talking about evil eye related, put them in the chat, because I am going to kind of pop out and look at the chat to see what's going on. You guys are talking about what? We love good molecules. I love that. Yes, come on, a good egg cleanse for the ojo de mal. We're going to get into that. Okay, thank you guys for all the wonderful makeup compliments. Y'all are so sweet every time. I did talk about the makeup details. This is going to be saved, so if you missed that, you can rewatch it. But long story short, the blush, Firehouse Moon Blush, House Labs, love her. And the eyes are from Kulfi Cosmetics. The shade is Chamak Chalo. I hope I said that right. I think they're a Southeast Asian brand, and they actually have an eyeliner that has Nazar in it. So I think it has that kind of kohl liner, because when you're looking at a lot of those Eastern Indian and North African remedies against the evil eye, they talk a lot about the kohl, the East African too, the kohl liner to protect you from the evil eye and from people all in your business, right? Because there's a psychic aspect to the evil eye too. But I didn't end up getting that eyeliner, but I wanted it. It's on my list, but I had to try this color first. They also have another one of these that I picked up that I have not worn, and I wanted it. Okay, this is what brought me to the brand. It's called SATAR'RA Sparkles. The name, I don't have the shade on yet, but I did buy it. It is called SATAR'RA Sparkles. Like, are you kidding me? I had to have that. If it's called SATAR'RA Sparkles, it's for me. Now, it is spelled SITARA, which is the original spelling of, like, if you have sitar, the instrument. But that is always how I taught people to say my name, especially for all my East Indian, East Asian friends, my Pakistani friends. That's always the reference they would make. They'd be like, oh, sitar, or like sitara. It means star. My name does mean star in several languages. So when I saw it, I said, oh, you're for me. So when I try that shade on, I'll have to make a little post. Maybe I'll wear it to our next one. But they also make this green. And when I saw this green, we were talking about my green nails. We were talking about the green spring abundance vibes. And it just felt right for this week's Conjure Chat. So thank you for the makeup compliments. The foundation is Huda. What else do you need to know? The bronzer is the Nessa Power Bronzer. We'll just have to do like a makeup chats. I don't know. We'll have to do that in a video. But yes, evil eye is what we're talking about. Okay, so we already talked about how to recognize evil eye, but I'm going to say it again for those of you who are hopping in or who are new. Generally, evil eye affects things that other people would be jealous of or other people would covet. You got to think about material beauty, material wealth or status, relationships and relationship status, major promotions or events, the birth of children. This is why a lot of people will keep their pregnancies very secret, especially people who are in the public eye. If they happen to be celebrities or if they happen to be people very high up in politics, you will see that they keep the birth of their children quiet. It's also traditional in a lot of cultures to keep somebody's pregnancy very quiet until they reach a place where it is less likely to be high risk, or where they're in a place where they know that they're ready to share that information. Same with major relationship things, weddings, things like this. And then we were talking about things as mundane as those broken nails or your hair breaking or falling right when you have a cute look that everybody is jealous of, okay? Your wig lifting as soon as you get it done, your sewing, coming out as soon as the tracks are in. Sometimes you just have to look at the people and say, y'all are mad. I know what this is. You're angry. Tell them take that up with their mothers. Tell them that doesn't have anything to do with you. Let me look at these comments. Okay. How can we lay protection from the evil eye? We're going to get into that. Ooh, this one. What would evil eye look like from a person you may be seeing or dating? We're going to talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about that because actually that's where a lot of people's evil eye comes from. And I hate to say that. That's so unfortunate. I hate saying it in divinations. I hate having to say that in readings, that the reason why your partnership is not working is because this person is jealous of you. And it's why I encourage so many people, especially my girls. For those of you who are new here, you know that everyone, all genders are welcome here. Men, I'm a little iffy on you. I'm not going to lie. Like, if you're a cis straight man, you're welcome here. But just know I'm a little iffy on you, and you better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth in these comments, especially with the other people in this comments. But other than that, like, you're still welcome. I just am a little sus on you. But all genders are welcome here. But for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a girly girl. I've got a special place in my heart for my girls, right? And what I will say is that we live in a society that really teaches women and femme people in general to be fake humble about our accomplishments, or to not speak about ourselves in a way that is uplifting, or to date people and to really be trying to put them on a pedestal. Like, no matter what we've accomplished, no matter what we do for ourselves, no matter the levels we get to in our career, a lot of us are socialized to believe that our partner, especially if our partner is masculine identifying, has to be like the star of the show, the center of everything. And so oftentimes when I see this, especially with my girls, it's because they're dating partners who are actually secretly very jealous of you. Right? And so some ways that you can see that, someone who is always trying to overshadow your moment, whether that be emotionally or physically. So I remember in my early 20s, I was in a relationship. That relationship was kind of public, especially amongst the people that I was around. And it felt like every time I had something important coming up, he had an issue and he would make that issue known. Right? Like, we would be at my event and all of a sudden he would want to pick a fight, or it would be leading up to a week that was very important for me and he would need all this attention and all of this. It was like he couldn't figure it out himself when I had something important to do. And it took me a long time to realize the pattern, like, when you have something important, I'm supportive, right? Like, I'm the type of partner where I'm like, okay, you've got a big deadline coming up, you've got an important show, you're prepping for a music video, whatever it is, because those were the type of things that I was doing at the time, right? Things that were important to me. And if I had the shoe on the other foot, I feel like I know I'm the type of partner that's like, okay, how can I support you in this? And I feel that's how healthy partnerships are. You may not always be able to be there 100%. We all have things we need to do, but you should be showing up for the important moments of your partner's life. And you should be showing up, I'm sorry, with a good attitude. And so I see this often, not just from my personal experiences, but from things I've seen on the divination mat when I'm reading clients or just talking to homegirls. Like, if your partner's always hating on you when it is time for you to have your moment, they've always got something to say, you might want to look at them out the side of all three of your eyes. Another thing I can think about is if they're constantly trying to change you, like they met you a certain way and then they try to bring you down or cut you down to size. Ditto for someone who's always making jokes that aren't funny, and this can go for a romantic partner or a friend. Really, all of these can go for romantic partners or friends, right? But people who make jokes that aren't really jokes, like, ooh, you just think you all that. I could never. Ooh, you always spending money. Oh, you must got it like that. Anyone who has something to say out the side of their neck every time you do something for yourself, someone who always has a criticism or critique, I know you all see me smiling because I know we all know people like this. It's like you say, I want to do this for myself. I want to take on this new adventure. I want to take on this new endeavor. And they immediately start to tell you all the ways that didn't work for them, or they tell you all the ways that that's a bad idea, right? Just that's something to note, but definitely in a romantic partnership. And then let me see. Oh, trying to change you. If they met you one way, you're a type of person, maybe you maintain yourself a certain way. Maybe you keep your hair done. Maybe you like to travel. Let's get outside of physical things. Maybe you're somebody that they knew that you were taking a vacation every quarter when they met you. Twice a year or quarterly, you were going to get on a plane somewhere. That's who you were. And now all of a sudden that you're in a relationship with them, they're trying to tell you, you shouldn't be spending your money like that. You shouldn't be traveling like that. I think that you should be more responsible with your money. I think that you should 1, 2, and the 3. Say you are somebody that used to keep your hair or your nails or your outfits a certain way, and all of a sudden they want to tell you to tone that down. That's why I don't believe in boyfriend air. Okay, we're going to get into the spiritual how-tos, but we've got to get the tea out of the way because a lot of the girlies, and I said this on my last post, a lot of y'all want put this candle, put this herb, make this bath, and I'm happy to give it to you. But if you don't know what you're looking for and you're just praying all willy, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your herbs, you're wasting your candles. So just get comfortable, get yourself a drink, because by the time we're pulling out the basil and whatever else you're going to pull out to make this happen, I need you to be very clear in your mind who in your life fits the archetype, what you're trying to cut yourself away from, and what you're trying to usher in. And so I hope that you guys are really catching this context and like getting the key, because a lot of what we're talking about is how you recognize this type of person and this type of behavior regardless, because it's not something that's going to stop. People are going to be jealous. People are going to have evil eye. People are going to have things to say, and you just get better at recognizing it and recognizing spiritually what tools to use, and emotionally and in your life how to recognize and avoid those types of people. Because if you're a light, they're going to gravitate to you like moths. Like, I'm sorry, haters are going to find you. They're going to go out of their way to find you, right? So this is why I don't believe in boyfriend air. This is a topic about evil eye. I do believe in getting more comfortable in your relationship. I'm not saying that if you were somebody that loved the sweatpants, loved athleisure, wanted to be cozy, casual of a girl your whole life, that you should not get comfortable with your partner. Whoever your partner is, we all get comfortable. However, have you heard the girlies on TikTok talking about boyfriend air, and they're posting pictures of themselves and they look so cute, and then they spend 2 weekends with their boyfriends and they look raggedy and tired? I'm not talking about a lifting wig, because sometimes a lifting wig happens. If you're grown, you understand why. But I'm not talking about a couple lashes missing. I'm not talking about you just look like you had a good time. I'm talking about you look worse and worse and worse and not like yourself throughout this relationship. You used to take care of yourself in a certain way. You used to carry yourself in a certain way. You used to, have hobbies and vitality. And I'm not going to lie, as a spiritual girl, sometimes I see you all with your boyfriends and I'm like, he's sucking the life from you. Your boyfriend is eating you up. That is not. The boyfriend air videos are terrifying to me. I don't like that for you all. I don't ascribe to that. What I feel is that when you are in a healthy relationship, everyone should begin to look better, right? Whether it's more vitality in the skin, you should be more well rested, right? And I think that's in people in general. When you're in a good place, when you have the right types of people around you, you are going to flourish. You are going to shine. You're not going to look more rusty and crusty and dusty. And I don't understand why we get on the internet and we glorify, I got in this relationship and I look like all my life I had to fight. All my life I had to struggle. if that is what it's giving for you, you need to reconsider. You need to reconsider. That's all I'm going to say. You should look better. These people should be putting more room for you to rest, more room for you to take care of yourself, more room for you to look, vital, not musty, dusty, and crusty. Musty, dusty, and crusty, talking about some boyfriend air. No, that man does not like you. That man hates you. If you look worse in that relationship with him, listen to your body, listen to yourself. I'm sorry, he hates you. He may not even love himself. And so I don't ascribe to boyfriend air. And if you find yourself in a situation with someone, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend with an I, child, and you start to look crustier, mustier, and dustier, you need to reconsider. Is this person the enemy? Is there an op in my bed? Because y'all be having the ops in bed with you. The ops be your baby daddies. The ops be your boyfriend of the week. And the ops be your family. And that's something else we're going to get into, how evil eye can often be closer than we want it to be. Oftentimes, it's the people that we think should be happy for us, right? Or that we're taught should be happy for us that can't be. I'm not going to say all of the time. Some people are blessed with very, functional, whatever that means, families. And I say functional because people I know who have like that perfect Cosby Show, what we thought child, Cosby Show, Family Matters type situation. Still, when I have conversations or I read for them, they go, "Oop, this was a mess," or "Oop, this was not for me." But oftentimes, it's people who you share blood with. And when I say family, let's talk about physical family. Allow me to be spiritual here, but also allow me to get wide and esoteric. It also is soul family, or people who share interests or passions with you, or maybe from the same spiritual family as you. Oftentimes it's people who can see parts of themselves in you, and they're seeing you actualize certain parts of yourself that they have not reached the space to actualize, whether it be in the courage to do so, the discipline to do so, or the understanding. Usually the people who are evil eyeing you are evil eyeing you not just because they want what you have, but because they look at you and they say, oh, well, if she has it, if he has it, if they have it, then I definitely should have that. They go, who are they to have that? Who are they to have 1, 2, and the 3? And I think that's the other thing we have to consider, is that there's a very fine line between love and hate. That people who are fans of you or were fans of you can immediately switch up once you reach a point where you are no longer accessible to them in a certain way, whether that be energetically, when they can no longer humble you or level themselves off with you. When they look at you and you no longer become approachable, your lifestyle no longer reflects what they thought your lifestyle should be. That's when you will see people turn on you. That's when you will see people shift their opinion of you. When you begin to level up your life in a way that is beyond what they thought of you, because that's the other piece, right? Evil eye is not just something that person is jealous or that person isn't. I wish that it was like that. I wish that evil eye was something where you could just say, okay, anyone who's jealous of me, pack it up, right? I never want to see it again. But evil eye is often a current that if you aren't actively working on not being a hater, some people have a propensity for being haters. I believe that. I believe that some of y'all's ancestors were haters. I believe that like in the great long ago, old days, okay, y'all were haters on the plantation. Y'all were haters on the continent, okay? Like some of y'all just come from a long line of haters. And I'm using y'all generally here, not y'all in this chat, because everyone in this chat is blessed and highly favored. Amen. However, some people come from a long line of haters, and that's just how they are. I feel that's just where they are in their spiritual journey. Like they have not evolved to a place, maybe that's their destiny in this life, where they can really understand the abundance of life. This is just my opinion. You're on my page. Really understand the abundance of life. Really understand that someone else's journey does not take away from your journey, right? And can't settle that. you can settle that, you're much less likely to be someone that's over here evil eyeing every single person, because you're usually too focused on yourself and too focused on your path, right? But like I said, oftentimes you get evil eye from people you used to be friends with, people you used to share secrets with, people you may share blood with, people you used to share a bed with, people who think they know you, and your life has changed in a way where they can no longer compare themselves to you, right? Where they say they're happy to see you get big, but just not bigger than them. They're happy to see you make money, but just not more money than them. They're happy to see you grow in your spiritual journey, just not bigger than them. They're happy to see you sell those records, just not more than them. You can play a show, but not a better show than them. You can get that job, not a better job than them. You can get a man, but not a better man than theirs. Are we understanding? We're clocking the energy here. So that is evil eye. How do we deal with it? Okay. So you guys know how I am. I believe in taking very good care of yourself. You guys are going to be like, what do you mean take good care of myself? How is that going to help me with the evil eye? They're going to hate me more. I want you to accept that if someone is going to be a hater, they're going to be a hater, right? And that if you're living your life well, you're always going to have haters. The reason why I say take very good care of yourself is because I feel evil eye is something that when it comes from a lot of people, it tries to play on your mind, and it tries to play on your self-confidence. It tries to make you doubt yourself, right? Think about when people are haters. What type of things do haters think about? I don't know. I'm not a hater. I got to think of it. But like, I don't know. They're thinking, who does she think she is? Okay. Why does she have that bag? Whatever hater thinks, haters, people think. But it's always around you doubting yourself, you feeling like them feeling you've gotten too big for your britches. You have something that they think you should not deserve. And that can manifest as like unexpected imposter syndrome, unexpected insecurities, wanting not to show up. Maybe you were really excited about going out to that party, and then the day of the party comes and you're like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not talking about the I'm not feeling it auntie intuition that your mama gets or that you get as you get older, where you just grown now, right? Those of us who have lived a little life can go, I feel like they're about to be cutting up at that party. If you get that feeling they're about to be cutting up at the party, that's not what I'm talking about. That's an intuition. That will save your life sometimes. Listen to that. I'm talking about you wake up and you're like, I don't like what I'm wearing. I don't want to go out. My hair is not hairing. My body is not cute. And you don't usually feel that way. If you were just so excited to do something the day you have that interview for that new job, and then you wake up the morning of that interview after you've had that conversation with a couple people, and you're like, I don't even know why I applied for this job. I don't have the skills. If you start to feel like that, you need to clean off for evil eye. And I also suggest keeping your business private. If it's something that's very important to you, consider not telling everybody until it's done. I know that that can be hard. It's much harder to do than it is to talk about. But if it's really, really personal and really, really private, consider keeping it to your chest, right? Keeping it close, right? Okay. So, evil eye. Spiritually, we use bluing a lot. Okay, bluing can come in the powder, it can come in the liquid, but the main ingredient that you're looking for with bluing is indigo, right? I'm not going to get into all of the mysteries here because we are on a live forum and channel that I'm going to save this. So people who don't need to know all the business will watch this in hopes of getting all the business. But know that indigo is very sacred for a lot of us, especially those of us who have West African ancestry and Central African ancestry. That indigo is good for removing the evil eye. That indigo is good for cooling down a situation. That indigo and that bluing, what used to be used to keep the laundry white, your whites white, right? And so that bluing, and you see the color blue associated with removing the evil eye all the time. Whether it's in the little evil eye charms or bracelets, you see it's usually a blue eye. They do come in different colors, right? And for some people, those colors have associations. Like you might get a pink evil eye to protect your relationships or your heart matters. People may pick the evil eye color around the situation that they have association with. So for some people, heart chakra is green. For some people, love and relationships is pink. So you can get those evil eyes in different colors. Friendships can be yellow, or health can be yellow. And so a lot of people will get the colors that associate with their particular situation that they're trying to protect. But traditionally, that indigo, that bluing is going to be a good place to start. I always say just keep bluing on the altar. Keep it on the altar. Get yourself some spiritual cologne of your choice. Hi, Baba. You trying to be in the business? I'm working. Put you some bluing, some water, and some spiritual cologne. Get you a big goblet, like a crystal goblet or bowl, right? And you put your bluing powder in there, and you put your fresh water. I saw somebody in here ask about camphor. I love camphor. You can put a little camphor in there. Just to clarify, but camphor is a general clarifier, and it's good for removing spirits and negative energies. And so camphor will sweep anything out. It will purify a situation. I wouldn't say that camphor is something that we use specifically for evil eye, but you will find it in a lot of formulas that are just about running out negativity or running out, nastiness in general, which is going to lead to River Jordan incense, because I released a new product. And I haven't released a product in forever, guys. So for all of you who were complaining, SATAR'RA, when are you bringing back products? Oh my God, where are the oils? You need to go get that incense, okay? Because I hand pounded it with the strength of my ancestors. I was in there like, ooh, that, y'all nasty. But I was hand pounding it with the strength of my ancestors. So go run that up. No, but it's a house blessing incense. There's camphor in that formula. Baba, no. Say hi. Say hello. Okay. Move your butt. All right. So, bluing in baths, bluing on a little candle, not too much. If you put too much, either the candle won't light or you'll burn the house down. But bluing in a bath, whether that be a spiritual bath, whether that be bluing that you keep on the altar, is going to be a good idea. I'm like wrestling with this cat. She wants to be here with me. I'm just going to have to stop fighting with her about it. But bluing is a good way. Eggs as well. I would say if you just take an egg, that's what someone was talking about, the limpia with the huevo for my Spanish-speaking homies, right? And my good curanderas, right? The egg, where you take the egg and you clean yourself with the egg all the way around. We do that in conjure as well, to remove evil eye, to remove negativity, just to cleanse in general. And so I would recommend working with eggs a lot. You can take that egg, clean yourself, and then put it in a reversal or revocation, crack it. And if you know how, you can read it, right? That's not something obviously I can teach you on the live, but you can look at that egg and you can look at it in the water and see if it looks extra gross or grimy or stringy like that. You kind of know sometimes there's blood in those eggs. Then you know, oh, it's a good thing that I cleaned off, because these people are evil eyeing me down. You see what I'm saying? And so bluing in general kept on the altar, right? To clean off that negativity. My godmother makes a spiritual soap that I love. Okay, close the eyes, shut the tongue, because it is the combination of the two that, in my opinion, makes that so effective. Is when you're dealing with evil eye, inevitably people are going to run their mouth. I think when we talk about evil eye, we only think of, okay, they're looking at me and they're jealous of me. We don't think about how people behave when they're jealous. Eventually, if they're staring at you too hard, if they're looking at you and your business too hard, then what are they going to do? They're going to get on the internet and they're going to say, ooh, so-and-so, did you see what they were doing? They're on vacation. They're doing this. They're going to be running their mouth about your business. And so that soap has been really, really effective for me, both cleaning off any negativity and, just like I said, that imposter syndrome that might come from just all of those mouths, all of those eyes, all of that, looking and talking, but also it really does put a nip in the bud in any gossip that's going on about you or people trying to spill tea about your situation, whether those be products or projects you have in the work, whether that be creative things that you're working on, whether that just be your personal business. And so I really like that soap because that keeps everything kind of two in one. You're stopping the people from running their mouth so crazy, and also they cannot look in your business. Spiritually, that's the other thing that I'm going to say to prevent against evil eye is to work a lot with mirrors. Get mirrors like those craft mirrors from CVS, and whether you clean yourself with those mirrors spiritually, whether you put those mirrors as ingredients in specific spiritual works that you're doing or you work with them. Lots of ways to incorporate mirrors, whether that's a mirror box that you prepare and put things inside of, but really focusing on spiritual works that allow you to manipulate what people see, right? That's also why we may put mirrors at the end of hallways, right? Especially ones that face the front door, or ways that we may be working with mirrors even in the setup of our home to magnify something we want more of the energy of, or to divert the eye, because mirrors are going to allow you to control what is seen and to reflect back anything that you may not consent to being sent to you, right? The other side of that working with mirrors, which I'm going to add into this chat about evil eye, is that working with evil eye also inherently ties with glamour work, because you end up having to do a certain amount of glamour work to see yourself clearly when you are someone who is in the public eye and you are someone that people are always talking about. I'm going to repeat myself, but I hope you guys are following me. The more, because someone asked me this is why I did this live. I have a lot of people who are influencers, who are artists, or who are musicians, or who are spiritualists, or who want to be in that position, somehow want to be in the public eye. And the more you are in the public eye, the more people dehumanize you. And the more they begin to project onto you, the more you become somebody people are thinking about. It is no longer just the energy of SATAR'RA in the world, but now there is SATAR'RA and people are thinking about SATAR'RA. They're thinking, what is SATAR'RA doing? What is she eating for breakfast? What color are SATAR'RA's, shoes today? Where is SATAR'RA? Whatever, right? I'm using that as an example, but let's be real. And so when you become somebody that people are always projecting onto, you have to do a lot of work to be able to self-define and to see yourself through the noise, and to put your mark, and to always have that confidence to say, I don't care what you think I should be. I don't care how you think I should show up. I don't care who you think I am. You have to be able to go, I am SATAR'RA. This is how I want to be seen. This is how I want to present. And this is what's important to me. And the more you are in the public eye, the more you can be projected onto, and people try to do that. And so I recommend that when you're working with removing the evil eye from yourself, you're also doing the types of spiritual works that reinforce yourself. Self-esteem based works, right? Cleaning yourself off. I also think in the physical, you should be very focused on finding hobbies and things that you love that you can do privately. You should be very focused on the energetic kind of care and keeping of yourself. What do I do when I need to unplug? What am I studying or learning that has nothing to do with other people's approval? Because evil eye is so prevalent in today's society. That's the other piece, is now in today's society, everyone is a celebrity. Everyone is an influencer. It's like every single person has a million eyes on them all the time. So you have to have good spiritual hygiene in how you treat yourself. And when you're doing your glamour works, make sure it's not just about appealing to other people, right? It's not just about, oh, I want to look a certain way so that this person will like me. Oh, I want to look like the latest, greatest, trend. But that when you're doing that work, you're pouring sweetness into yourself. You're praying that you always hear and see your own internal voice clearly, that you find the things that inspire you, right? Personal style. Because people always gonna hate on you, baby. You might as well really get in your bag. You might as well really get into what is it that I like. When I get dressed in the morning, how do I want to show up? Who do I, what kind of hair, nails, what kind of environments, what kind of home do I want to live in? Because oftentimes people who deal with a lot of evil eye, they play themselves small, and people are always going to pray that you pray yourself small. Y'all know what I mean by pray yourself small? Oh, I just pray my rent gets paid this month. Oh, I just, pray that these people like me. Oh, I just pray. They not going to like you. Get over that. Who do you want to be? Because once you know who you want to be, the right people will find you. Like that. The right people will find you. Okay, if you have questions about evil eye, put them in there. I'm going to talk about 2 more makeup favorites, beauty favorites. I'm going to talk about my new product, and then I'm going to answer the questions, and then we're going to be outie. Okay, so beauty favorites. Let's start with this. Okay, before y'all even fuss at me, because y'all always fuss at me, okay? I love this. Yes, it is expensive. It's unnecessarily expensive. Is it worth it? Yes. But I want y'all to see how small this little thing is. It's 1 ounce. I do believe it is 1 ounce. It's from Tata Harper. I love Tata Harper. Okay. Tata Harper is a clean line. It's a luxury line. I want to say she's Colombian. I used to work at Sephora, so I'm just throwing out that knowledge I got in my training. Okay. So yeah, before I was a full-time conjure lady and music producer, your girl worked at Sephora. I also worked at Lush, so shout out to them for employing a 21-year-old psychic me, because it taught me so much about beauty, and it still informs the way that I move through the world. Anyway, this is the Tata Harper resurfacing mask. She's an exfoliator. She's got BHAs in there and some pink clay. I have very sensitive skin, but I easily get congested, especially in my nose area. And I'm wearing a lot of full coverage makeup. I do a lot of travel. I do a lot of spiritual work. Those of you know I'm a conjurer and I'm a priestess, so that can get dirty, okay? We are outside girlies. I'm not just a candles girly. I'm an outside girly. So when it's time for me to be an outside girly, and I have been known to be an outside, get down and dirty in the ceremony type girl with a full face of makeup on, ask about me, okay? So after we're getting done and I'm washing off all types of spiritual behavior, all types of travel behavior, all types of rehearsal behavior, my skin can be real congested and real sick of me. And so I like a mask that exfoliates, but also pulls out gunk and isn't too drying. And I don't know, she's just that girl. And she smells divine. Like, if you want to feel like you're at a luxurious spot, it's kind of rosy. It's so nice. Okay. So like I said, I'm a big fan of bringing in the luxury that you want to feel into your home. And so even if you can't afford to go to like a bougie Four Seasons type situation, I love like a luxury hotel spa. I suggest you do that if you're just looking for something fun to do and you want to splurge a little bit. I'm a fan of like the bougie hotel spas. This definitely gives bougie hotel spa vibes. It's the Tata Harper resurfacing mask. She's 1 ounce. She's like $68. But she goes on my list of like what to buy and restock when Sephora has the annual sales. Whenever it goes on sale, I grab it. And honestly, if I'm just in the mood to treat myself, I will pay full price for her because she's that good. So that's a Tata Harper resurfacing mask for instant glow. It does give you the best glow, and it does make your foundation go on just buttery. Your foundation, your makeup will go on so smooth after using this mask. And so I keep her. It's the resurfacing mask from Tata Harper. I'm obsessed. You need her. That's how I feel. If you're a baby facial exfoliant girl, it's not giving that. It's much gentler than this. It just, everything's smooth. You don't have any pores all of a sudden, and your face doesn't feel like it's going to burn off, because a lot of these exfoliators make it feel like your face is going to burn off, and that is no fun for anyone. I don't want to feel like my face is going to burn off every exfoliation session. I'm not interested in that. I'm not. So if you want good exfoliation and smooth vibes, the Tata Harper resurfacing. Okay. My last one is a fragrance recommendation. Now, this one, a lot of people would smell this and say that it's a fall scent. This is Vanilla Era by Boy Smells. Okay, so it's a vanilla fragrance. I know the girls love a vanilla fragrance, but it is kind of spicy without being heavy. There's tulip. I want to say there's orris, a little cedar, but she is the yummiest vanilla scent that is unexpected. It's not as sugary sweet in that like cloyingly sweet way. I've always been a vanilla girl. I used to be a warm vanilla sugar Bath and Body Works girl. Tell me what type of body spray. Were you a cucumber melon? Were you a Victoria's Secret love spell? Were you a Juicy Couture? I wore a little bit of all of those, but I was a warm vanilla sugar babe. Okay, I wore warm vanilla sugar out everywhere. I had the lotion, I had the body wash, which I should not have been using because I had eczema. I had all of the things, the body spray. I loved warm vanilla sugar. And so to me, Vanilla Era gives me my warm vanilla sugary vibe. Like I get that vanilla gourmand kind of kick that I love, but it's just so much more complex and so much more interesting. And so it makes me feel a little mature. It makes me feel a little sexy. Like I said, I would say try it on. It's not what I would think of as a spring scent when you first smell it, but I think because of the tulip, the way that it wears, especially with the weather around me, because I spend my time between LA and between Atlanta. And so there are fragrances that I really like to wear when I'm in Atlanta, especially as it gets warmer, versus fragrances that I like to wear when I'm in Los Angeles. Is anybody else who's bi-coastal or like spends time in other cities like that? I think it's the humidity. Some fragrances wear very close to the skin, very sexy, very warm, and very wet on the skin. Like when you hug me, you're going to smell it all in here. And I love that, especially when I'm in the South, because all that humidity is just yummy. Like all the wetness, warm. I don't know. I always want to feel dewy, sexy, glamorous nights, dinner parties, right? Like when I was a little girl, that was peak glamour to me. Like, let's get up, let's get dressed, let's go see a show, let's be out on the town. A very southern, humid, glam night. The hair is done. That's what this smells like to me. It's very, I won't say ladylike, but it reminds me of ladylike with a little edge, like what your grandma's lipstick palette looks like. It smells like almost like how my prom felt. Like there was a lot of debutante and pageantry, but we were really like drinking liquor behind the, after the tailgate. Like when you're presenting one way, but there's a little edge. I hope I'm making sense. It smells like that makeup-y, feminine, powdery, but then a bite underneath and a little bit of woods. And it just reminds me of my favorite parts of the South. So when I am in Georgia, I have been really loving Vanilla Era. And I got this. You can get it from Sephora. They also have a website, boysmells.com, and I've had candles delivered from them. Their shipping is really good. I want to say that I got this from Sephora a couple of months ago because it was new. I want to say in the fall it was new. And so I've had it for a while, but like I said, I thought I was going to wear it as a fall scent, but I really have been loving it as a springtimey, sexy, nighttime kind of going out scent. Okay, let's talk about my new product, and then I'm going to answer your questions. Okay, River Jordan Incense. River Jordan Incense smells beautiful. Hold on. You know what? Let me go get it. 1 second. This is a live, so just entertain yourself. I'm going to go get my tasting. Oh. Let me get it out the cabinet. Okay. Yes. So, y'all see my pants? They're cute. Okay, let me show y'all. Y'all can see. These are like baseball pants that I thrifted. They're stripes. You see, can y'all see? Oh. Right? And they're cute. I thrifted them some time ago. And I don't know, they're like my go-to happy pants. Right? Like when I need something that's a pop. They have all that space for a belt. I really want to get a good belt for them. But yeah, I want to show you guys my pants because You guys never see what I have on the bottom. I always get dressed like full outfits. But the annoying post-pandemic world, no one ever sees the full outfit anymore, unless you're in real life. Ooh, okay, y'all, I opened this. It smells so good. Okay, when it ships to you, it won't be shipped like this. This is my at-home packaging for incense, child, and this is one that I've already opened because this one, right, it's labeled from when I put it in this packaging because I had it in the zip packaging and I made the other batch. So the batch that you guys will be getting will be made on the 29th and it's going to ship out no later than June 1st. June 1st is the estimation. It's going to come in 2-ounce tins. But right now it's sitting on the altars, getting blessed, all of those good things, right? Okay, so I just opened this. There's camphor in this for those of us who are talking about camphor, right? So camphor we use to run out any negative attachments, any negative energies, anything that we don't want lingering in our spiritual space, right? She is a hand-pounded incense. I don't know if you can see that. It gets a little foggy in the camera, but it's loose. So basically, you need to take out a little bit. Like I said, it'll be in the tins and then put it on a charcoal burner, right? She's got a little bit of lavender, sandalwood, saffron. I told you guys amber, camphor, a host of other things, and then an herb blend that I use specifically for blessing. But when I was working on this product, it actually came out of a personal need. This product came out of a personal need. I've been working on it for some time, but like I said, this batch is the newest that you guys are getting. And it was because there was a season where people just kept sending me spies. And our last thing we talked about, spiritual spies, if you haven't seen that episode of Conjure Chats, it was my first one where people were asking me a little bit about spies and monitoring spirits. So it was just a season in my life where, like, I don't know, this person was incessantly nosy. They were very obsessive. I think that they're a little jealous, you know, like that type of vibe. Because even when other people would divine, this person would keep coming up as evil eyeing me, as trying to figure out things about my business, trying to figure out things about relationships that they thought I might be in, all types of weird psycho behavior, right? So this particular person was a spiritual person, a spiritualist, and was really obsessed in that time with sending spies to me. And not only sending spies, but sending the types of spies to, like, be negative, to disturb the energy of my home, like we talk about. There was a lot of evil eye in that situation. So I would know there was a spy if I was going to read for myself, and, like, I would get very discouraging answers. Like, and not just the normal self-doubt, but discouraging answers that didn't ever sound like anything my spirits would say to me or that I would say to myself. Does that make sense? Like, we all have our negative self-talk. We all need to work on that and should be working on that. But I would be reading and it would be like a voice that I had never heard before. And I would be like, who is that? And that was kind of the first sign that I had spies. So there's a protocol for removing spies from your home. I would suggest my godmother's communiversity. She does a lot of talking about spies. But smoking out the house is one of the primary ways that we spiritually clean the space and that we remove any type of negative spirits that may be lingering, anything like that. And so I was really meditating on the issue of my spirits, and I have a lot of different types of spirits. But of course, I always pull from that, like, Southern conjure pantheon that I grew up with. And smoking out the house is a huge part of that tradition, as is the understanding of the River Jordan as a space of transformation. For those of you who grew up in the church, or for those of you who know Christian, theology, the River Jordan is where John the Baptist was baptizing everyone, but most notably Jesus, right? And when they talk about the baptism of Jesus, they talk about how when Jesus went under the water, the river reversed its flow. Right? So the history of conjure and the church is a very complicated one. I'm not a fan of that debate. Honestly, I come from old school workers who felt like if it worked, it works. That's how I feel. When I think about my spirits and I think about my ancestors and even the elders that I knew's relationship to Christianity, I would say all of them had their own personal journey with how they identified. Conjure was very much looked at as a technology. I think one of the ways that we see now is conjure is looked at as like how Christianity is a religion people really want conjure to be a religion in that way. And while we have theology, and we absolutely have theology, I think that I would argue there are a lot of people whose context for that was spiritualism as a whole, not just Christianity, not just African traditional religion, but if it worked, it worked. And that goes back to the continent. So I say that because you don't have to be a Christian or believe in Christian things to use River Jordan. It just comes from that part of my lineage that understands the type of spiritual work that comes from. You dig? There's a lot you can do with that book if you're willing to use it. There's a lot you can do in the ways of your ancestors if you understand that for some of them, their deepest spiritual wisdom has that kind of overlay of Christianity. And there needs to be more conversation about the syncretism that we find in hoodoo and in conjure, because people are very quick to be able to see it when we talk about certain lineages in Lukumi, for example, when we look at how certain saints are sometimes associated with certain divinities, right? People have not quite been able to grasp the ways that that is in the quilt of which we call conjuration and hoodoo. And in some ways, I would love for that research to be done because it would be very interesting to read. Like, the selfish part of me wants someone to do that. But the part of me that just really is realistic knows that as soon as somebody did that research, people will be having conversation about things they don't know about anyway. Right? But all that to say, River Jordan comes out of that lineage, the lineage of spiritual works that you can use with Psalms, that you can use with the Bible, that you can use with those ancestors of yours that would have considered themselves Christians or were Christians or who had praying hands. Because when I tell you, it's like I made that on accident. I was irritated and I was putting together all the things and I could hear my spirits talking to me, boop, 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 boop. And I was praying and I was pounding that thing out and I was praying, you need to get all this negative energy, 1, 2, and the 3. And I looked up and then I said, oh, I made this. And I sat with my spirits divine and got all the details that I needed about how the formula needed to be used and all of those types of things. But it really is for running out negativity, running out evil eye. You can work it with Psalms. I recommend Psalms 29. If you work with saints or you work with spirits in that way, you can work with that as well. And like I said, it just needs to go on a charcoal incense burner. Like, you get the charcoal. Some people use the seashell. Some people have the cauldron. Some people have the one that hangs and then you can smoke it throughout the house. That's my personal favorite because I feel like one of those fancy monks in the temple. Like, I'm walking around, I put my little robe on, my little fluffy Target pink robe, and I'll be in here. Right? Y'all be like, what you be praying when you smoke at the house? I be carrying on, honey. Right? So get it, saints and spirituals, run the devil out. If you have any questions for me about it, feel free to put them in there and I'm happy to answer them. That is the basics. What else do you need to know? I'm not doing restocks. Those of you who know me know that I did not like selling a lot of physical products. And I sit with myself because I sold a lot of products. Physical product was probably one of the things that people knew me for best when I first started doing spiritual work. And I didn't have a lot of formulas. I sold a lot of units. And I sold a lot of formulas that people really loved, like my Come To Me oil and like my Better Business oil, as well as Florida water. People really loved those products. And I felt a lot of pressure because people loved them so much and they became a part of people's spiritual collections. I felt a lot of pressure to keep them in stock. And I really realized when I wanted to reapproach physical product that I don't enjoy working that way. I don't feel like that's a traditional way of working for me. For me, I like to keep things in stock in my own personal apothecary, whether that be for my personal work, whether that be for client work, for whatever. I'm always going to have the things that I work with on hand. I don't like feeling the pressure to make batch after batch after batch after batch. And so when I decided, okay, I'm going to re-release a product, I knew that I was going to give myself permission to move and release things at my own pace and not feel the pressure to restock super crazy. I feel like that leaves room for you guys. If it feels like this drop resonates with you, grab it. If it doesn't, don't. But just don't complain to me when it's not back in stock. There's no restocks. And that's how I'm going to move forward. If I drop something and you see it and you want it, you better grab her, because Even if I come to me oil back, I won't be bringing it back a million billion times. Like, I'm not saying I'll never bring formulas back, because I will. I'm not focused on having consistent restocks because I'm just not that type of girl. I'm a very go with the flow type of girl. I'm a very what am I feeling for the season and for the collective energy type of girl. So this is the offering from my heart for this season. If it resonates with you, please grab it and it will ship to you June 1st. The other thing I need to tell you that's an update, and then I'm going to get to these questions, is that my readings are open. May is almost fully booked. I want to say there's availability for June. But there's some spaces left in May, but it's getting booked fast. Anyway, my books for readings are open. For those of you who follow me, you know that I'm a diviner. For those of you who don't follow me and don't subscribe and haven't liked and haven't commented, I don't know why you haven't done that yet. I feel like you should, right? If you don't follow me on my other socials, it's at I am SATAR'RA. I read the people in the daytime. I'm the card lady, okay? When I'm not rehearsing and in the studio at night, I'm doing these lives on Friday evenings, I am usually divining for people, pulling cards, answering questions, check my reviews. I'm good at my job. This third eye is cracking, okay? And if you're trying to find out about her, readings are $70 off. They're $150 for the hour with the code Do It Roger. That's a shout out to Roger Troutman, a beloved family member of mine. Okay, no, I come from very talented people and an inspiration of mine. His anniversary of his death and my uncle Larry's death was on the 29th, and so I've been running that special for him. I went to the studio all day. I went to the studio all day, which was wonderful. We can talk about that. I spent all day in the studio playing with different things, playing with different scents, just to really honor him, because I think a lot of people think about him and they think about Talk Box. He was killing that Talk Box, but really he was a synthesis out of this world. His relationship to synthesis was just phenomenal to me, and I think one of the main ways that I feel I connect to his energy. But honey, in his honor, readings are on sale till Cinco de Mayo. Code is Do It Roger. So put it in there, get you your readings, and we will talk. And it's a little video call, so when it's time to chat, you'll see my beautiful face, and I will be knee deep in your business. Okay, that's that. I want to see if there's any questions. Let me look in here at the chat and see what we've got going on. If you've got questions, now is a good time to put them in there. Oh, y'all are so sweet. Yes. Oh, talking about the products and Blockbuster Balm. Yes, Blockbuster Balm was a jam. It really saved people in the allergy season. I just used the last little corner of my personal Blockbuster Balm recently, actually. Oh, you guys talking about if you haven't got a reading, get one now. Thank you for that, for all of you, because I know some of you in there are longtime clients. And so shout out to people who have been rocking with me since pre-YouTube days. I actually love YouTube. I don't know. The internet is getting to be a very precarious place. There's a lot of weird censorship, a lot of very, messed up things going on in the world, and they don't want people talking about what's going on in the world. So they're really trying to censor the conversations we can have, who we can have them with, and where they can be had, especially amongst certain types of creators and certain genders and races of creators. That's all that I'm going to say. I think that there's a lot of ways that the social media platforms that we once really called home don't always feel as welcoming. And so I have really been thinking of ways to diversify where I am and connect with you all deeper. And part of this move to YouTube is really that, and to be able to share content in a way where I know we can see it and you guys are going to be able to engage and enjoy yourself. Because it seems like lately on certain apps, cough, cough, right? You can't be even seen by who you want to be seen by. And everyone's changing the algorithm and everybody's competing and they're taking the music off and they're putting it back on. No one has time for that. So if you haven't already followed me here, definitely follow me here, because I would love that and I'd appreciate that. And join my mailing list on my website, because that's also where you get the good information. I have a Patreon. If you want exclusive access to things, there's Patreon. And yeah, my mailing list, because the other socials, I'm there, but they're not really doing it for me. And I'm still on Twitter. I know it's X now, but I'm just X never is going to do it for me. Like, I'm sorry, Elon Musty, it's not going to do it for me. Like, it's Twitter. Those of us who remember the good old days, we remember. It's Twitter. Let me see this. Yes, she does have Afterpay now. Okay, we have Afterpay for the girls. We do. Do I think making your own things is a good idea in addition to your formulas? Absolutely. I always want you guys to make your own things. I think that that's very important. That's old school conjuration. I'm never going to talk poorly about rather using formulas from practitioners that you love. Myself, I even use things from, like I talked about, my godmother, my god sisters. Like, so many people in my life are practitioners. They make beautiful things, and I love to use other people's products as long as I trust the spirit of the practitioner. And so absolutely, I'm encouraging you guys to use my things. I'm encouraging you guys to, explore people that you want to purchase from. However, I don't necessarily think that that helps you grow in the tradition in terms of knowing what herbs you really have a relationship, knowing what plants really respond to you, knowing what your spirit's like. Those are things that as you go through the process of making your own things, right? And you just have them in your home, not to sell. I'm not saying you can't start a business if that's for you, but so many people don't want to make formulas nowadays unless they're going to sell them. And that is not traditional. Like, if you're making a spiritual bath, make it for yourself. If you're making a smoke blend, make it for yourself. I encourage you guys to explore, because I hate to sound like those old heads. I hate to sound like those men who play chess in the park, but like, that's partially who I am. Like, there's a huge part of me that is just like those men who be in the park playing chess in the Merck Park, where they be like, what are you going to do when the lights go out, brother? Like, what are you going to do, sister, when the lights go out? And that's how I feel. Me, grow out. But like, that's how I feel. Like, the lights will go out. And what are you going to do, brother? Right? You need to know what herbs to put together. You need to know. Okay? And you need to learn how to play chess and wear one of them Rasta hats. Right now, it's very important. Kings and queens, that's how I feel. So yes, absolutely learn how to make your own things. Oh, y'all are so sweet about this, talking about, thank you, Aisha, talking about act on it if you've been wanting to get a reading. That third eye is cracking 10, I try to take good care of her. She see. People don't always like what she sees, but she don't be wrong. Okay, exactly. His mama named him Twitter. I'ma call it Twitter. Exactly. Come on, Conjure Cosmetics besties. Love my glamour babes. Hi. We need a little name for our group. Think about what we should be called. Are we going to be Conjure something? SATAR'RA is a hard name to rhyme with, but I feel like I need a cute name for my community. So think about what we're going to be called, because I want to be able to be like, hi, you know how they be? I want to be like, hey, babes, but better than babes. Hey, booze. Like, something. So we need to think of something. So if you think of something good for our cute community, then put it in there, put it in the chat, or send it to me, because I feel like for our next live, I want to be able to greet y'all like, hi, insert cute name here. You see the vision? Are you getting the vision? That's what I want. Okay. Come on, conjurettes. Come on, I like that. We sound like a majorette group. Like, Conjure Cuties is cute. Conjure Cuties is cute. Conjure Hoochies is cute. Conjure Coochies is a little hilarious. Conjure Cuties is cute. Okay, so that's 2 for Conjure Cuties. We'll see. It's giving Conjure Cuties, but if someone else has something else, right, then we're gonna see. But Conjure Cuties might be the winner. That's kind of cute. We got a lot of votes for Conjure Cuties. But if you guys don't have any more questions, then I'm gonna wrap this up. I had so much time, so much fun chatting with you this time. Oh my God, that's how you know I'm tired. It's time to go, because my words are just blending together. But this week has been long. Like, I'm happy it's Friday. I was so happy to come on here with y'all. But I'm so happy it's Friday. So just know I'm going to lay it down after this. But thank you guys for coming. We're not having Conjure chats next week because I'm going to be busy that day. However, I'm going to upload a video. There will be some uploaded and edited content that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So check for that upload next week. And then we will be back for Conjure Chats the Friday after that. And so I love you guys. I'm enjoying all of this green in the camera. I'm enjoying all your sweet comments. Do. You must come to me, girl. You and everybody else do. I do like how y'all all thought about Conjure Cuties at the same time. That is kind of the psychic vibes. Like, I don't know, it might be Conjure Cuties, but okay. I love you guys. Happy Friday. May you be blessed. May you be abundant. May you have a good rest of your weekend. May you rest and thrive and apply all of the things that we talked about here. The replay will be saved. So if you want to share it with somebody, send it to somebody who couldn't make it. Send it to your friend who needs this word. You guys know how we always have those bomb friends. I want you to do this. I want you to send this video to your bombest friend who you know people always hating on them. You know, the friend who is so fly and they're always having a problem, and you're like, these people are jealous of you. These people at work are jealous of you, or your boyfriend's jealous of you, or your mama's jealous of you. I want you to send this to your flyest friend. And if you are your flyest friend, then I want you to replay it and remind yourself that that's the problem. These people are evil eyeing you. You need to step up your protections. You need to step up your self-care and your vibes. And always talk about yourself in high esteem, because you really are that girl, and don't let people convince you that you're not. Okay? That's really what this is about. They're haters. Like I said, they've been ancestral haters. So I hope today was insightful. I hope that it got you the information that you needed. And like I said, I will see you guys week after next. Okay. Bye, babes.